guys, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have my April. It is now April book haul. Show you guys today. Some of these were actually purchased at the very end of March, but I had already filmed a book haul and did not think I was going to be getting more books, and it happened anyway, so they're going to be included in this month's video. I guess we'll start with those ones first. The first book that I picked up was Nova by Margaret Fortune. It looks like this is the first book in the Spectre War series. This is a mass market size, like sci-fi fantasy book that just sounded sort of intriguing to me, so I don't know the whole plot of this, but it sounds like our main character was somehow taken and her original memories were erased, but she ends up being like more of a implanted bomb sort of thing. So she is like a bomb that is going to be sort of infiltrated into whatever society this is. However, her bomb countdown malfunctions, and so she sort of ends up more integrated than she thought she was going to be, and we get to sort of see whether or not this whole like space war bomb thing works out. I don't know. It just sounded very intriguing, especially the fact that like she's not really a full person, but she was a person, and then I think we're gonna have to like have her deal with maybe more of those like humanity type of feelings and thoughts and stuff, so I'm very intrigued by this. Then I also picked up Killing November by Adriana Mather. This is one that I actually talked about in my wrap-up for March, because this was the whole reason I ended up purchasing some books at the very end of March, even though I already did a book haul and I was for sure not going to be buying any more books. But I had read her How to Hang a Witch, 2 books that are out in the series so far, and this one came out near the end of March, and I just was obsessed with her writing style and everything, so I had to pick it up. So I already rated this. I want to say I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because it is the first book in the series, but it is very intriguing. This does follow our main character of November, who ends up at a boarding school that is not like any other. They don't have any electricity, they're not allowed to contact outside people, and their classes are more like knife throwing and poison skills and deception than anything else. So this is a very mysterious sort of book. She was sort of thrown into this boarding school without much knowledge of it in the first place, so if she doesn't know something, we don't know something. When she finds out something, we do find it out as well. So there is a lot of mysterious goings on throughout the world building as well. But also there is a character death in here near the like beginning-ish of the book that people are trying to frame November for, even though she didn't do it. So it's also partly murder mystery to try to figure out what exactly happened with that, because then those people that did it originally are now sort of after her. So I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoy Adriana Mather's writing style, and this is the whole reason I ended up picking up more books in March, even though I should have waited for April. I also picked up the second novel in this new like Firefly type of series that they have going on. This is The Magnificent Nine by James Lovegrove. Consulting editor is Joss Whedon. So I have not read the first book in this novel like series either, but it was on sale at Barnes & Noble. I actually ended up having to pick it up because I am obsessed with Firefly. The covers of these are gorgeous. They also have like one of those ribbon bookmark type of things in it, which, I mean, if you can give me a book that has like those extra details, it's great. I also love the fact that like under the dust jacket it looks like a sort of leathery type of book. It's not, it's just a normal book, but they did have really good details on this. I'm actually not even too sure what this one is about. I want to say that this doesn't necessarily have Jane like before he joined the crew, but we do have things from his past coming back in this book that they're gonna have to deal with. So we'll see when I pick these up, but they're just so pretty I couldn't help myself. Then I also picked up 2 graphic novels at the very end of March, going into April. The first one was Skyward Volume 2. This is by Joe Henderson. I read Skyward Volume 1, I want to say at the end of last year. Really enjoyed where the story was going. So basically this is a series that sort of follows the after effect of a planet-wide, not apocalypse, but an event that made the gravity much, much less than what is currently on Earth. So these people are able to sort of fly around, but they do have to be careful about it, especially since when that event happened, lots of people went out into space. Like, they died because the gravity was so much less than they were expecting. Because of that, in the first book, we have some sort of like different political scientific groups. Some people really like this lower gravity effect, some people don't, and so we are having this sort of like political intrigue as well. I don't fully remember where we're supposed to go with this second volume, so I'm probably gonna have to reread the first one before I read this. But I did really like the representation in this as well. We do follow a woman of color for our main character, and then we had some side characters that had disabilities that were not the typical body shape of what most protagonists and that kind of stuff are. So I really, really enjoyed the first one, and I'm looking forward to this one. And then I picked up a new graphic novel. This is Isola by Brendan Fletcher. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive cover. So there's a different cover out there that is like for the original, I guess, one. I don't know much about this as well, but the art style completely caught my eye. I am very much someone who really has an appreciation for certain art styles, and sometimes those will catch my eye more than the actual story summary, although this does sound intriguing as well. So this doesn't give us too much to go on right away, but apparently there is an evil spell that was cast on the Queen of Mar, I want to say it is. It's their main land in this story, and her captain of the guard is somebody that wants to try to reverse it for her, and the only way to really do that is to go to an island called Isola. I'm just really, really intrigued by the art style of this, and so I had to pick it up. I have not read it yet because I have been quite bad at some of the graphic novel stuff that I've picked up recently. I'm in the middle of a series that I'm just absolutely loving, so once I have finished some of those books, I will be definitely jumping into this. And then moving into the things that were actually from April, I received an art copy of Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. This I did win in a Goodreads giveaway. So it does happen. The last time I won a book from a Goodreads giveaway, I want to say was like 2013, 2014 maybe. So while rare, it does happen, and I'm super excited to have this one. I read I Believe in a Thing Called Love by her last year. Really, really enjoyed that. And I also purchased recently The Way You Make Me Feel by her, and so I'm very intrigued by her writing style and the fact that we have like these YA romance type of books that definitely center around Asian main characters, and I'm just super excited. This one here deals with a K-pop star, and then I think it's a guy that, I don't think he's a professional tabloid journalist, but like this is like his side job, and they sort of meet at a hotel, and from what I understand, it's going to be something very humorous and cute, and I'm just super excited for it. I absolutely love the way that they did this cover as well, and on the back of the book we just have like a nice sort of pastel rainbow. Very, very excited for this. This one I believe is coming out in May. It does look like it comes out May 7th, so I am planning on reading this hopefully this week or at the very beginning of May. Then I obviously also had to pick up The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the first book in the Elder Curses series, and so far, because I read this already and I will talk about it more in my wrap-up, I'm absolutely loving it. I have missed her writing style because I'm that person who has not read Queen of Air and Darkness yet, but I absolutely love the way that she writes. I love the pair up between her and Wesley Chu in this as well. You could not really tell where one part started or ended, and so obviously I feel like they did a very, very nice collaboration on this. This book follows Magnus and Alec after the events of City of Glass while they're on their European vacation, and stuff that is sort of crazy ensues. We never really got much information about their trip in the actual Mortal Instruments series, so I was very excited to have this. I thought it was really, really good, but again, I'll get into it in my wrap-up. I'm very excited to see where the rest of the series is going to go, because I believe the second book is going to take place some years down the road. I believe maybe after some part of City of Heavenly Fire, so we will have to see what happens, but I'm just so excited that I have this. And then the last book that I have for right now is going to be Bloodleaf. This is by Crystal Smith. This was a book that I did receive in a Shelf Love crate. This was the Shelf Love crate for March, which showed up a little bit late. I will link that video down below in case you guys are interested in the unboxing of it. But this is a fantasy type of book that is very intriguing to me. I had seen the cover and I think I knew what it was about previously, but when I actually opened the box, I had forgotten what the actual synopsis was. This follows a princess that is somehow an heir that nobody really wants. She is banned from using her blood magic, and there are, I guess, spirits that she is able to see. She ends up sort of being chased after there's an assassination attempt on her, so in order to sort of flee for her life, she ends up going to the country where her betrothed prince lives, but she ends up also hiding as more of a commoner. And so I'm very intrigued by this one. We have those elements of magic, obviously, but also the spirit elements sound very intriguing. I do believe she enjoys her life more as a commoner, and so we have this sort of, does she or does she not actually want to be royalty? There's also supposed to be, I think, a like forbidden romance in here, and so it sounds very, very intriguing to me, and I'm very excited that I have it. Please excuse if this camera is completely different than it was before. I have one more book that I purchased this month that I completely forgot about because it was in a separate pile on my end table than where I usually keep all of the books I purchased this month. But I also picked up Smashed by Junji Ito. Junji Ito is a horror manga artist and author, and this is his newest short story collection. I have already read this month and will definitely talk about it in my wrap-up, but I have every book, basically, that he has had translated into English, and I had to pick this one up. These books are definitely more mature and creepy and sort of horrifying than other manga books, so you definitely need to know that you're into the horror type of genre, especially with the picture stuff that they have in here, before you jump into this. But this one has 13 different tales in here. There are not very many of these that have any sort of connection at all. I think there was 3 stories in the middle that were sort of interconnected, but everything else was completely separate. Even though I don't really enjoy short stories very much, I do like his format of these like short manga stories. He does a really, really good job of trying to keep the suspense up, but also giving us enough plot per story to keep you really interested. And so I don't know exactly how I forgot to add this one on there. And it's not like I just purchased it. I purchased this like the week it came out, but we have another book that I actually purchased in April. So that was all I have for this month right now. I am trying to be so good with my book purchases because this baby is coming at the end of July, and I can sometimes overspend on books. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you've read any of these books. I would love to talk to you guys about them. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I have videos up on Mondays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!